Given the existence, as uttered forth in the public works of Puncher and Watman, of a personal God, with white beard, outside time, without extension, who from the heights of divine apathia, divine athambia, divine aphasia, loves us dearly, with some exceptions, for reasons unknown, but time will tell, and suffers like the divine Miranda with those who, for reasons unknown, but time will tell, are plunged in torment, plunged in fire, whose fire flames, if that continues, and who can doubt it, will fire the firmament, that is to say, blast hell to heaven, so blue, still, and calm. So calm, with a calm which, even though intermittent, is better than nothing, but not so fast, and considering what is more, that as a result of the labors left unfinished, crowned by the Academy of Anthropometry, of esse in posse, of testu and cunard, it is established beyond all doubt, all other doubt than that which clings to the labors of men, that as a result of the labors unfinished of testu and cunard, it is established as hereinafter, but not so fast, for reasons unknown, that as a result of the public works of Puncher and Watman, it is established beyond all doubt that in view of the labors of Fartov and Belcher, left unfinished for reasons unknown, of Testu and Cunard, left unfinished, it is established what many deny, that man in posse of Testu and Cunard, that man in esse, that man in short, that man in brief, in spite of the strides of alimentation and defecation, is seen to waste and pine, and concurrently, simultaneously, what is more, for reasons unknown, in spite of the strides of physical culture, the practice of sports, such as tennis, football, running, cycling, swimming, flying, floating, riding, gliding, Canadian, camogie, skating, tennis of all kinds, dying, flying sports of all sorts, autumn, summer, winter tennis of all kinds, hockey of all sorts, penicillin and succedaneous. In a word, I resume, and concurrently, simultaneously, for reasons unknown, to shrink and dwindle. In spite of the tennis, I resume, flying, gliding, golf over 9 and 18 holes, tennis of all sorts. In a word, for reasons unknown, in fecum, Peckham, Fulham, Clapham, namely, concurrently, simultaneously, what is more, for reasons unknown, but time will tell, to shrink and dwindle. I resume, Fulham, Clapham, in a word, the dead lost per caput, since the death of Bishop Berkeley being to the tune of 1 inch, 4 ounce per caput, approximately. By and large, more or less, to the nearest decimal. Good measure, round figures, stark naked, and the stockinged feet in Connemara. In a word, for reasons unknown, no matter what matter, the facts are there. And considering what is more, much more grave, that in the light of the labors lost of Steinweg and Peterman, it appears what is more, much more grave, that in the light of the labors lost of Steinweg and Peterman, that in the plains, in the mountains, by the seas, by the rivers, running water, running fire, the air is the same. And then the earth, namely the air, and then the earth, and the great cold, the great dark, the air, and the earth, abode of stones, and the great cold. Alas, alas, in the year of their Lord 600 and something, the air, the earth, the sea, the earth, abode of stones, and the great deeps, the great cold, at sea, on land, and in the air. I resume. For reasons unknown, in spite of the tennis, the facts are there, but time will tell. I resume. Alas, alas, on, in short, in fine, on, abode of stones. Who can doubt it? I resume, but not so fast. I resume the skull to shrink and waste, and concurrently, simultaneously, what is more, for reasons unknown, in spite of the tennis, on, the beard, the flames, the tears, the stones, so blue, so calm. Alas, alas, on, the skull, the skull, the skull, the skull in Connemara, in spite of the tennis, the labours abandoned, left unfinished, graver still, abode of stones, in word, I resume. Alas, alas, abandoned, unfinished, the skull in Connemara, in spite of the tennis, the skull. Alas, the stones, Cunard, tennis, the stones, so calm, Cunard, unfinished.